Hi everyone. So in this video I'm going to be talking about a realization I had, an observation I had on this idea that, you know, it's not nice to say things that are mean to people. For example, you should smile more. That we shouldn't say mean things to people. Now, there is the element where that's, true. Um, because when you say a mean thing to someone, that person, you'll take it and um, they can have like a depressive thought about it and they get stuck within that, or it can lead to many consequences, yes. But what about thinking mean things about other people? What about that? Does it have any consequences, even if you don't say it? Does it? Let's take, for example, you're here, imagine you're here, and you think something about someone else's appearance. Okay? Let's say you think that they look very dirty, or that they should smile more, or they seem really weird, or strange, or even you could say ugly if you wanted to get to that point. So you have all these thoughts about this person. Let's say you don't say anything to this person, but does that have an effect in reality in some way? Does it? Let's think about that and let's try to get our self-honesty here. To bring our self-honesty. Okay, what's the truth? What's the real truth that when you think um, something about someone's appearance like that, let's say a negative way, does that have an effect on reality? Does it have effect on you or the other person? Does it? Or the future? Because let's just say that you're here and you have that thought about that person. You don't say anything to this person, but let's say because of that you do not sit next to them on the bus stop waiting for the bus to come, or you don't talk to them, or you don't sit with them. Let's say they're a coworker. You don't really go up to them and talk to them. You avoid them. You could even get to the point where you will talk about what you thought about the person, but to someone else, which is called gossiping. So you'll talk about that person, but not, you won't say to their face, or whatever. You may not help them, you may not do a favor for them, you may not be friendly to them, you may not form a friendship with them, or whatever. There's so many different ways where within you thinking this thought and having this negative perception of them, and then you in response, in turn, you very fittingly treat them that way, and so they are not really, you don't want them a part of your life. Did you really consider that point for yourself when I asked you that question before? And I was purposely taking a long time to ask or show my points that I already saw, because I wanted you to see whether you actually were aware of what this is going on right now within you, where it does have an effect on reality. Your thoughts have an effect on how you act and what you do and how you behave. Now, let's say you say to me, well, Yogan, what if I just don't act out my thoughts? What if I keep thinking, let's say, these negative thoughts about how I perceive this other person, yet I'm still very kind to them. I'm very nice. I'm very friendly. I sit next to them. I make conversation with them. I'm the best person. So, if you were to look at this self-honestly, how long do you think you can really keep up thinking all these negative thoughts about them every time you see them, and still on the opposite, on the outside, being very positive? I would say not very long, and let's say you are very good at that. It's like a water kettle. It's on hot. It's gonna boil. It's gonna reach a point where it's just it has to burst, or the water runs out, or something, and the pot burns. So it's not, and that's what leads to, at least to me, it's very obvious that would lead to many illnesses and diseases, because what you're thinking and what you're doing, that's going to have an effect on your body, because you're suppressing what you're thinking, because your thoughts are going one way and your actions are going another way. So it's just not how we're meant to work. We're gonna burst. There's a self-honesty there that has to force it out. We're not like so cold machines and so designed where we can do that, where we can lie completely within who we are and that not affect us on a physical level, even with disease and so death. And you see this within people, within their faces, and when they get older, the lives they lived, it's marked on their faces. And so you look at someone who lives self-honestly with their actions and who they are, you see that in their face too, in their health. So the two are interconnected, and there is a consequence for what you think. It's gonna affect the world, affect you, affect others, affect how you treat others, so that affects the world. So it's really kind of misleading. I've seen this in TV shows and programs and in real life, when you tell a child or a person, or give a person advice to, if you have something mean, keep it to yourself. Because yes, that's true and that's good, that's fine, but what about actually that thought you're having? That's the problem. And it's like, if by not talking about it, we excuse it and make it okay and permissible to do, as if everyone does that and that's alright, when it's not alright. So, I mean, for everyone's well-being, not just the other person's, let's say, it's for everyone's well-being, because everyone will be affected through this. And that's amazing in a way when we realize that. We have a whole different perception. We have a whole different perception of reality when we realize this simple point about how what we think affects reality, not through some like law of attraction crazy type thing, just through it affects your actions, your behaviors, what you do, how you treat people. That's what it affects. And so to investigate the mind, the thoughts, that's the new frontier. That's the frontier, next frontier for humanity to discover, to be pioneers and explore and teach and share and learn from that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. See you the next one tomorrow. Bye.